Hey there, internets. So, I was debating whether to even do anything on this, and didn't shave or anything. Let's talk about that shooting that just happened day before yesterday in Buffalo. So, the guy was certainly a nut job, warped, evil, put it real simply. And of course, he put out a 180-page manifesto. And the first thing people said was, he's white supremacist and all that. And that is absolutely true. And I'd condemn that. Everybody I know would condemn it. I can't even think of anybody that I know that wouldn't condemn any kind of white supremacy. And so, of course, everyone says he's right wing. Then I see a report that says he's left wing. So I go online to try and find the manifesto. Yesterday, I found it. Read about 15, 20 pages of it, and I had to do other things. I was going to go back to it. Sent myself a link. Was thinking about doing a video on this. Tonight, I went to go back to it because I figured best way to find out, is he left wing, right wing? What does he consider himself as? From the source. And it disappeared. So unfortunately, I don't have a copy of it. Numerous news articles out there have talked about different things he viewed himself as. From what I read, yes, he was a white supremacist. He believed in this white replacement theory thing, which I do not think is near as mainstream Republican as some people are saying it is, because Republicans honestly don't care what your skin color is. We care about your values, your work ethic. That's pretty much it. And that has nothing to do with your skin color. It never has. That is literally the content of your character and not the color of your skin. So he absolutely was a white supremacist. He says he is. There's no debating that. He actually goes through, like, in the 20 or so pages I was able to read of this thing before it disappeared. And it says page taken no longer exists. When I go back to the link I sent myself, page no longer exists. So you understand, I tried to find it again. I even Google searched it again, couldn't find it. So it is being suppressed. Not that I want to promote his views, but if you want to know what his views actually were and not what somebody says they were, because every news form is biased. I am admittedly a conservative person, and I'm giving that view. He says he is not a conservative. He also says he's more left of center, even at times having been almost pretty much very much communist in high school. And then he went more conservative. Then he went back the other way. And I suspect, I can't prove it because I can't read what he said. Thank you, big tech. Yeah, I suspect he probably has some weird blend of ideas. So let's get right down to that one right now. We don't really know, can't really tell what his ideas were beyond that. So calling him right wing, left wing, you can't base whether they're right or left on somebody's race. Because, I'm sorry, racism is racism, but I don't care what color someone's skin is. It doesn't determine your ideology. It just means you're a racist bigot. When you start talking economics, when you start talking other stuff, he kind of takes this almost what little I could have a chance to actually read. He asked, does he think the workers should control the means of production? It's almost a very Nazi-like view of, well, that depends on who the workers are and who the government is and what means of production you're talking about. Because the Nazis, they were socialists. They believed that the government, the collective, should control the means of production. Yes, they had private ownership, but so did Lenin. Okay? So he might have had more capitalistic views. He called it corporatism. And, well, I think corporatism exists. No, I'm a capitalist. Okay, I'm pretty libertarian in my views. I am not authoritarian. This guy straight up says he's authoritarian. So there's that. So his views are not anything conservative. From what I could read. If they put it back up, I will certainly go read them and do a further update if need be. I am not adverse to that, but if I don't have the text of what he wrote, can't say it. I can't comment on what I don't know. So then he starts bringing up other issues, and they ask, why did you choose this area? Well, there was a lot of black people in this zip code. Then he said, why did you choose New York? And so let's talk about the gun thing, because of course, now you got a bunch of people pushing gun control. He straight up says he wants to try and start his race war by pulling people in by causing a push for gun rights. So if it's your intention to not start a conflict, don't be going after this, because you're actually playing to this idiot's views and what his goals are. So he straight up says, and if you see us jiggling a bit once I got the phone all balanced up here, because I'm not at the final location for this. So I bumped the chair things are sitting on. He straight up says he wants calls for gun control, because then it'll prompt people to fight back. He's trying to pull people in. Do not fall for this. But that's not going to be good enough for some of you guys on the left, because you're going to push for it anyway. So let's just go down the line. Assault weapons ban. New York had it. Magazine ban. New York had it. In fact, this guy says one reason for New York is he knew everyone was restricted to 10-round magazines, and I'm not going to repeat the word he used to describe the rifles. It started with a C and has racist connotations. I'll just say that. And sexual connotations. We're just not going to go there, but he knew that any guns that might be present would be very restricted. So, magazine ban, New York had it, didn't help. Assault weapons ban, New York had it, didn't help. They still have a very, very restrictive concealed carry scheme. Didn't help. What gun measure would have helped that wasn't already in place, especially in those veins? Ask yourself that question. What law that you think should have been there wasn't there? Because there's not one that was. And I haven't read every last thing on him. I saw a headline. That he may have been on government's radar. I've seen some of those kind of things. But I will tell you right now that a gun law is not going to stop this thing. At least the kind that are going to create more restrictive gun laws. If he wasn't, he literally did say he went where he thought he could kill more people. And now he's trying to say he didn't do it or he's innocent, which is his constitutional right. But if the guy that they did it and he wrote that manifesto, he said he was going to plead guilty. So now he's a liar on that account. We can't even easily slam him in jail forever, which is what needs to happen. And honestly, it'd be an excuse to get a rope if he was guilty. But yeah, I'm okay with on a moral level of a death penalty if he would confess. But anyway, there is no gun law that would have stopped this. No gun restriction. He straight up says what model it was, and I think it was an AR-15 variant. None of it would. So just drop that one right now. So by the time I get this uploaded, it's going to be morning for most of you, but have a good day. Actually, the next video I was planning to do was more on some text censorship, which this actually plays into with the disappearing manifesto, but I kind of did the research kind of by happenstance on some of this baby Formula One stuff, and I may actually go and do a video on it, because I dug up a lot of stuff that makes no one look good. But that will be for another day. You all have a good one. Take care.